Hi everybody, my name is Diego Leyva, and today I'm going to be doing my molecule PowerPoint or video. My molecule that I had was guanine, and we'll get right into it. So starting off with our background info, its chemical formula is C5H5N5O, so carbon 5, hydrogen 5, nitrogen 5, and oxygen. Its molecular weight is 151.13 grams per mole. It is one of the four nucleobases and is always paired with cytosine, another nucleobase, so G to C is their symbols, and it is found in DNA and RNA. It is also found in every living organism inside their nucleus, inside the cells, and here's the chemical structure of the molecule. So for historical info, it was discovered in 1880 by Albrecht Kossel. He was studying the isolated substances within the nuclei, or within the DNA, which he called nucleins. He showed that they consisted of proteins and non-protein groups, or portions, sorry. Him and his students were using hydrolysis to chemically analyze the nucleic acids, which he was able to call them the nucleobases that we know today. So the description of it, guanine is a 2-amino purine. It has a role as a human metabolite and an algal metabolite as well. Like I said before, it is found in DNA and in RNA. And then moving on to the enantiomers, guanine has three technically. I know it says one, but it has three. So the L-guanine is one of them, and then the two tautomeric forms, so keto and enol form. And then to the picture to the right is how they look like. Moving on to physical properties, boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. That's equal to 673 degrees Kelvin. Melting point is 360 degrees Celsius. It equals to 634.15 degrees Kelvin. Um, like I said in the last slide, it is a 2-amino purine. It has a role as a metabolite and the algal metabolite, and again found in DNA and RNA, and it is not soluble in water, but it is soluble in bases, diluted acids, and ammonia water. Chemical properties: guanine is an irritant when it is exposed to skin or eyes. It is a hazardous to mice when they're conducting experiments. So when it is introduced to it orally, it becomes very toxic to them. There has been reported tumors for it when they're exposed, and it is non-flammable. Moving on to benefits and drawbacks. So we'll start with the benefits first. So under physiological conditions and even more during pathological events, it reduces neuroinflammation, oxidative stress, and excitotoxicity. It also exerts trophic effects in neural and glial cells, and it is the storage and transmission unit for hereditary traits. So it's where we get all of our traits from, like our parents. That's where it's stored in there. So now moving on to drawbacks, it is an irritant when it comes in contact with eyes or skin, like I said before. And so pretty much another one is like it's basically useless, not useless, but there's not a lot it can do without cytosine because those two are always paired together within DNA and in RNA, and specification is very important when it comes down to this because without it, it can't really do its job because of how big it is. So, really, being able to match up with them is very important. They're partners in crime for all the nucleobases. So, the claim to fame, like I said before, every living organism uses guanine. It's in their DNA, it's in our DNA. Every plant animal has this inside their nucleus. It's genetic information storage. It is a genetic information storage and transmission within the DNA and RNA. There are other molecules that have the same purpose, so adenine, thymine, cytosine, and uracil. Uracil is found within the RNA, and then all of these nucleobases work in harmony to make us who we are, and you know, us being here today. So, is it hero or villain? I believe it is a hero. Guanine deserves a hero award. This is because without it, like I said before, we wouldn't be here. Our genetic makeup would be something entirely different or nothing at all. So without it, our DNA structure would be disrupted. DNA sequences usually provide instructions for the protein synthesis. So each nucleobase corresponds to a specific amino acid, and when they aren't paired with the right ones, it can lead to incorrect protein sequences, gene expression issues, cell function disruption, inherited disorders, and cell death. And that's something we don't want. So having these nucleobases is crucial to our genetics. If we take one away, it all falls down like a domino effect. You knock one over, all of it falls. So every living organism would suffer from those effects if that were to actually happen, or like if we were to take it away entirely. So this is why Guanine deserves the title of being the hero, because if not, like I said before, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Guanine and the rest of the nucleobases. Here are all my citations. Again, my molecule was guanine. Thank you for listening, and yeah.